So, what would you say was the defining book of your youth? Like, what book did you read that just blew your mind open and made you realize stories were where you wanted to live?
I'm so sorry, but I have 3 answers for this.
That's fine. Give us 3 answers.
So when I was very young, it was Animorphs, which is this amazing sci-fi-ish series by Kay Applegate. Yes. And A of all, finding out that she was a woman was amazing because, Kay Applegate, that could be anyone. But I found out at some point that it was Catherine Applegate, and I was like, so that was amazing. I haven't reread that series since I was a kid, but it holds a very special place in my heart because of the way that she did these children's books that are very much aimed at children, not even teens, children. But she deals with these dark themes that by the end of the book you sort of have all of this stuff about trauma and war, and they're just so good. And then I would say the next one that blew my mind was Harry Potter, which is probably anyone in my generation would say that. And that was just sort of the characters, I think, in Harry Potter were really what I was amazed with and what I loved and what made me want to write a book with a lot of characters. Because although Harry Potter is mostly from Harry's perspective,
it's such a large cast.
Many people. Yeah, there's a
and
huge
she
cast.
is really good at making minor characters stand out.
Yes, she's so good at that.
And then there was a man.
And you're he has a beard and he's doing this and he seems like a bat, and you're like, oh,
she's
him.
very sort of Dickensian in that way. Charles Dickens had such huge casts, but everybody was unique and everyone stood out.
And there was very brief descriptions that immediately gave you so much about the character.
You knew exactly who they were. Yeah.
And then I would say the third series was Game of Thrones, and I read this series when I was frankly probably too young to read that series. Don't read that book when you're 14. Don't. But I did, and I think that one was the one where I was a fantasy book where you get to follow many characters and the book is about the characters. That's what I want to write. And so that was sort of a very early thing that led me to actually write this book.
Well, and it's anchored around history as well. He pulls so heavily from...
It's basically the War of the Roses. It's the same thing. But with ice zombies. So.
War of the Roses with ice zombies. Which we can't say for certain there weren't ice zombies in the War of the Roses. There might have been.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think that there were.
But that's probably fair.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.